Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Awesome
Hey!
Let's give a warm welcome this week again to Emily and Saya, who are joining us from the University of Hawaii. Hi, guys.
Hi. Hello.
This week, we're going to be focusing on Korean variety shows, Adventure by Accident, or in Korean, 태어난 김에 세계 일주. Before that, let's start with our weekly update.
제가 가장 좋아하는 방탄소년단 멤버들 4명이 이제 다 입대를 했어요. 대체 지민이도 가서 조금 걱정되면서도 응원하는 마음으로 지켜봐야 될 것 같아서. 네.
아티스트들이 군대를 가는 거 어떻게 생각해요? 우리나라만 있는 진짜 K-팝에만 있는 이벤트인데.
It was headline news in the US today, so that BTS was going to the army. It's top news. So. My family was contacting me like, "How are you?" I was like, "Oh."
네, 많이 익숙해진 것 같아요. 이제 다 가니까. 이 사람이 어느 무대에 가고 언제 나오고 그런 것만 신경 쓰는 것 같아요.
Like, yeah, if they're Korean, then they should like serve their part. I do think with like BTS, it's interesting since they are so like globally famous that it is like introducing that concept to a lot of people that didn't know about it before. Like, I know there are a lot of Americans that were like, "Oh, what do you mean? Like, BTS is going into the army? Did they like sign up for the army or stuff?" It's like, no, like it's part of yeah. But I don't know, it's like it is what it is. It's kind of my mindset, I guess. Yeah. My favorite group, ATEEZ, they yesterday hit #1 on the Billboard 200 for the first time. So, yeah, I was very happy about that.
에이티즈라는 그룹이 한국에서는 그렇게 유명하지가 않거든요. 맨 처음에 어떻게 알게 된 거예요?
Yeah, from the start, they were often called like the global group, or like the international group. They just finished up doing like a world tour in a bunch of other countries. A very interesting phenomena, especially since the group doesn't have anyone that's from a different country. They're all Korean.
I think it's similar to Stray Kids. They were really popular overseas and then hit on the billboards, and then they're just like now getting pretty popular here. So
I do think it is cool. People talk about a lot, like how BTS was like a very like underdog group, and that like they came from a very small company and then like rose to such success. I think that's nice that we're seeing like a variety of different groups.
아미가 보기에는 어때요?
저요? 제가 보기에 에이티즈요? 에이티즈요. 제가 사실 에이티즈
잘 모르는구나.
에이티즈
괜찮아요.
미국에 와서 이렇게 미국인 친구들이 주변에 있는 친구들이 자꾸 에이티즈를 좋아한다는 거예요. 그래서 에이티즈가 뭐길래 그렇게 다들 좋아한다고 하지 하고 아이돌 그룹끼리 이렇게 대결을 하는 그런 프로그램이 있었는데 그거를 보고 재밌다고 느꼈어요.
그래도 BTS는 이길 수 없다.
BTS랑 비교는 못할 것 같아요.
Adventure by Accident, which is now on its 3rd season after 2 trips, is famous for being a no-plan, hard work variety show documentary where webcomic creator K-Ent, 84, and his friends go on unplanned adventures to various countries around the world. So this season brought in all the guests. So there was TV personality Dex, the travel YouTuber Penny Bottle on a journey to Madagascar. So starting off with, as usual, our awesome points. What were your guys' awesome points that you took from this season?
But I was pleasantly surprised that the show seemed to focus on like certain like everyday aspects that made the location special. It was just about what the locals do in their daily life and how that in of itself was special. they kept using like the term, like calling it like romantic, or like they kept being like, oh, 낭만, 낭만, like throughout the show. Display of human interaction, just the way that like the people interacted with the locals and like we're able to get close to them even with like language barriers. I thought that was really nice to see. Yeah, it made it enjoyable.
스태프들의 존재감이 많이 없는 것이 중요한 포인트였다고 생각을 했어요. 약간 혼자 행동하는 느낌이 더 드는 것 같아서 네, 그게 이 프로그램의 재밌는 점이라고 생각했어요.
다 준비돼 있고 다 예약해놓고 그런 게 아니라 직접 가가지고 몸으로 부딪히면서 해보는 여행. 네.
In American shows, things tend to be like overblown or like exasperated almost. But I like that it just seemed very real. It is very evident that it is just like, you know, dropped him in Madagascar and said, you know, go for it. And then they just followed him around with whatever he did. And they show like the great moments and the not so great moments, but nothing's overblown. So yeah, I enjoy that.
You know, like it's, in this one, it's just, what do you do when you're in a foreign country just having to explore on your own? It's just the reality of it. So I feel like that's a big difference. Usually if it's the US, it's actually, you probably see those on YouTube.
Especially with American TV, like reality shows, most people assume they're scripted or like fake to some extent, but you don't get that feeling as much with like Korean reality shows.
Like this is actually people, like how they're, you know, this is the actual person. So those are all great, awesome points. What about any non-awesome points? Maybe like specifically while you were watching, why might this be hard for like international audiences to pick up? Maybe something on that. Yeah.
출연진을 잘 모르면 이게 초반에는 조금 지루할 수 있다고 느꼈어요. 네, 기안 발사님이 계속 혼자 나왔잖아요, 초반에는. 그래서 이분은 잘 모르니까 이분의 평소 말투나 뭐 다른 사람과의 관계를 알면 더 재미있을 텐데 잘 몰입이 안 돼서 그것 때문에 외국인 시청자들이 많지 않은 게 아닐까 생각했어요.
It's kind of random, but there was a scene where like he went with like locals to like catch fish, and then they were cooking it, and then he started just like making like sashimi or like doing like tofe with it. And like the locals didn't know what he was doing, and like something about that, like I don't know why I didn't like that. But
there was more secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, there was some secondhand embarrassment in the show. Yeah, that's what it is. Kian Paris has like personality overall, but there's definitely some secondhand embarrassment. Besides that, from like the perspective of like maybe other foreigners being dissuaded from watching the show.
기안84의 그런 행동들이 이해가 안 되는
아, 누구나 이해 안 되는 거예요. So he was definitely the right choice for the person to be sent off to random places. I find that maybe if you didn't know anything about Korean variety shows or don't know any celebrities, if you watch that, you probably end up just turning it off because maybe it's a little boring. Like, why are they spending an hour and 50 minutes just talking amongst yourselves? And you know, there's also panels and stuff like that, which also feature popular actors or celebrities or personalities.
그러니까 한마디로 정리하면 다 좋은데 기안84가 누구냐?
기안84가 누구냐? Among K-content fans, he's quite popular though, because of 나 혼자 산다, I think.
맞아.
Yeah, which is very popular. Okay, so now moving on to the key points of the show. So to talk about this, we asked our participants to use the streaming platform KOCOWA to view the show and then give their feedback about their experience.
KOCOWA is an American streaming service specializing in thousands of Korean contents. To pick and choose from, including a wide variety of variety shows, hard to find on other platforms. Running Man, an Infinite Challenge, and also K-pop programs, including live concerts and Inkigayo. It is the only Korean platform that has expanded into the North American region, but in 30 countries in the Americas, and is now also expanding into Europe. It's known for its high-speed provision of content with programs being available fully subtitled only 6 hours after release in Korea.
So KOCOWA is also introducing their AI search service, which is called AI Keytalk. So if you're having trouble finding content, all you need to do is say a specific kind of keyword, and it's not just a keyword such as like comedy. It's things like recognizable cast or sympathetic character or something like downright scary, kind of more detailed keywords that KOCOWA will use to help you find the perfect match for what you're looking for.
제가 미끼라는 다른 플랫폼을 이용해서 드라마나 예능을 많이 봤는데 코코아에서 드라마를 몇 가지 미끼에 제공을 해서 코코아를 봤는데 제가 생각보다 저도 몰랐던 예능들이 많았고 좀 궁금하고 보고 싶은 예능도 많아서 그덕을 지금 진지하게 고민 중인데 드라마는 제가 보고 싶은 드라마가 많이 없었던 것 같아요.
지상파에서 재밌는 드라마를 많이 안 해가지고.
I think what is interesting though is the amount of variety shows and K-pop, like, what is it, comeback music shows that they have, which that's really great to have, but there is barely any sites that provide like variety show contents and K-pop contents. People are still watching them on like illegal sites or things like that. And the fact that it provides subtitles, even better. So yeah, usually those things, even if you find them, it's hard to find subtitles sometimes and like good subtitles. So that's definitely good.
결국은 한국 예능이 K-드라마나 K-팝처럼 유명하지 않기 때문에 아직까지 이 코코아도 여러분들한테 익숙하지가 않은 거잖아요. 그 우리나라 예능 중에 혹시 기억 남는 재밌게 본 거 있어요?
서진이네를 재밌게 봤거든요. 그것도 다른 나라에 가서 요리를 한국 음식을 만들고 이렇게 제공을 하는 거잖아요. 일단 제가 잘 아는 배우랑 아이돌이 나와 있었고, 네, 위도 나왔고, 위랑 친구인 박서준 씨랑 우식 씨도 나오고, 사이가 엄청 좋은 가족 같은 사이라는 걸 아미들이 다 알거든요. 저는 한국 음식도 좋아하고, 아이돌도 좋아하고, 드라마도 좋아해서 그런 요소들이 다 모은 프로그램이었거든요.
But among those that normally consumed Korean content, I feel like Running Man was a really popular show, but I feel like it's kind of lost popularity in recent years. But like Return of Superman, I forget the Korean title, but like the fathers would like stay with their kids. Like
슈퍼맨이 왔다.
슈퍼맨이
돌아왔다.
Yeah, yes. Like I remember watching that a lot, and it was like celebrities, but I feel like a lot of foreign fans didn't know originally who the celebrities were before watching the show. They just wanted to watch it because they thought it was like cute and entertaining, and then later kind of got interested in who the people were. But I know that one was really famous, and I feel like it still has a good following. But
그러니까 언어나 웃음 코드가 다르기 때문에 그 슈퍼맨이 돌아왔다를 에밀리 씨가 좋아하는 것도 그런 배려가 없는 그 버라이어티 쇼라서 그런 거잖아요.
I think it has to do with like when it comes to things like when the joke comes from like the way the language is used itself, that stuff does not translate well, or it just can't be translated. So then a lot of what makes the programs fun is then removed when you try and share it with a foreign audience. But I do think shows like Superman 돌아왔다, like because the focus is more on just like kids being cute and like that kind of other stuff isn't as necessary for it to be popular.
우리나라 사람들도 빅뱅 티오리나 그런 거 봐도 사람들 10번 웃을 때 한 2-3번밖에 못 웃거든요. 그러니까 아무래도 이 드라마나 K-팝보다는 유명해지는 조건이 좀 까다롭긴 하겠네요.
Because I feel like there was less content available to watch like their favorite idols on. It was definitely things like Running Man or like I Live Alone. I know also like One Day, Two Nights.
1박 2일.
Yeah, that was also really popular. So I think that there's definitely a few Korean shows that do kind of go over the cultural boundary. Like it's just something that anyone can watch and like it's funny no matter what, I think.
유명한 사람들이 나와서
Yeah.
게임 같은 거 많이 하고.
Right.
미션 같은 거, 어려운 미션 같은 거 수행하는 그런 식의 포맷이라야 외국에 성공할 수가 있겠네요.
With the Running Man too, that was definitely like the one show I did like introduce my family to, and we all watched it together.
Oh, we did.
Because you could understand it, and it was really funny and entertaining, even when like certain jokes went over their head, or like they couldn't understand like the maybe like cultural aspects they were referencing. It was still really entertaining and fun. So
제가 좋아하는 아이돌이 나왔다, 제가 좋아하는 배우가 나왔다 하면 무조건 찾아보는 편이거든요. 그래서 외국에서도 인기를 얻으려면 어쩔 수 없이 그런 아이돌이나 인기가 있는 배우들을 게스트나 호스트로 출연을 시키는 게 필수 조건인 것 같아요.
What elements make that different than these kind of variety shows? Yeah, Solo's Inferno and Physical 100. Like what made them different so that they expanded to an international audience in that way?
제가 어쩌다가 보게 되고 보니까 재미있어서 계속 보게 되었는데 미국에서도 비슷한 프로그램이 있잖아요. 그러니까 피지컬이 엄청난 사람들만 나오잖아요. 사실 그런 요소들이 이렇게 좀 이해하기가 쉽고 시작하는데 어려움이 없는 프로그램이어서 보는 사람이 많았던 게 아닐까 생각을 해요. 이렇게 예고편 같은 거 보면 대충 어떤 느낌인지 알잖아요. 근데 그런 느낌이 미국에서도 익숙해서 보는 사람이 많았던 것 같아요.
우리가 오늘 대화한 걸 가지고 K 버라이어티가 어떻게 해야 될지가 다 나왔네.
So a lot of Korean variety shows, the ones that are even popular, they're not really popular among, international audiences. Still working on it. As K-pop, K-contents expand more, maybe K-variety contents also will expand along with that, but it's still a very hard. Yeah, that was what we kind of covered this week. So thank you again for joining us on this episode of Awesome
K.
Thank you guys for joining us today, and we're going to see you on another episode. Bye!
Bye!